right, thank you. I'll call you.
I told him to get into that.
All right. Overlap. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call this public meeting of the Board of Johnson County Commissioners to order on this Monday, January 27th, 2025 at 10 o'clock a.m. Please pray with us if you care to, and then we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you bow with me for a moment of prayer, please? Dear Heavenly Father, there's so many people that we need to pray for each and every day, but today I'd just like to offer a special prayer for the homeless out there. I'm praying, dear Lord, that regardless of why they're there, that they are getting comfort and meals and warmth somewhere. And dear Lord, I'd also like to pray for those that we're going to be able to service with our new behavioral health facility, which is going to open soon. And hopefully we'll be able to provide a needed service to many of the families in our county. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Really?
Really gonna sing it strongly with text.
Opening of sealed bids for 2025 mill and overlay project.
This first bid is from Calumet.
Get her closer to her microphone there. Thank you.
Okay, Calumet Civil Contractors for the 2025 mill and overlay project. The first bid is for $2,398,000, so 2398000.00.
What was the company?
Calumet Civil Contractors. Okay, the second bid is from All Star Paving, Inc. And this is for $3,342,941. So 3342900.41. This bid is from DC Construction Services. It is for $2,791,818.41. So 2791818.41. This bid is from E&B Paving LLC for $2,193,994.59. So 2193994.59. This bid is from Howard Asphalt LLC. This bid is for $2,168,605.57. 2168605.57. Where's the bid sheet? Thank you. This is for Reith Riley Construction Company. The bid is for $2,331,697.17. So 2,331,697.17. Okay, make sure this is just one bid. This is from Milestone Contractors. The bid amount is $2,552,511.03. So 2,552,511.03. That is the end of those.
Okay, I'd make a motion, give them to Luke and Daniel, turn them over and come back with a recommendation at our next meeting.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Opening of sealed bids for CR 144 Morgantown Road Roundabout.
Okay. First bid is from Calumet. And where's the bid? Oh. Bid sheet is, let's see. Let's see the bid sheet. I'm just blind here. Is there somebody from Calumet here? So I don't see their bid sheet on here.
Is there
You
anyone
wanna come
from
look and see if you can find your bid sheet on this?
Don't see it. Usually it's on top. Yeah. Oh, it's just that total? Okay. All right, their total is for the bid for the Morgantown and 144 roundabout is for $1,413,000 even. So 1413000.00. Okay, this is for E&B Paving LLC. So, I guess this is the bid. Proposal. This is $1,381,856.44. 1381856.44. This is for Reith Riley Construction. And their bid is for $1,274,529.71. 1274529.71. last bid is from Milestone Contractors. And it is for $1,448,100.00. So 1448100.00. And that's the last one.
I'd make a motion, to turn over to Luke and Daniel with Highway and come back with a recommendation at our next meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you to all those that came and give bids on that. That was nice to see that many bids. Thank you very much. Mike's here. I just wanted to announce, and I know probably Mike will be embarrassed about it, but anyway, I wanted to announce that the Humane Society of the United States has recognized our Deputy Director, Mike Clark of the Johnson County Animal Control with the Humane Law Enforcement Award for 2025. And I know to probably most here, that's probably not a big deal because you don't know what our animal shelter probably is really about and what it does anyway. But this is a great honor. Mike, if you would stand up, please. I'd like to congratulate Mike, and if you would, let's give him a hand. Thank you very much for your service, Mike. And while we're on that subject, just really quick, I want to just say how well and how well-staffed our animal control is and the job that they do. A lot of us don't see the behind the scenes and what goes on at the animal shelter, but it's a job that most of us sitting in this room couldn't do and wouldn't even think about doing. It's a thankless job that takes care of a lot of animals that need help. And, you know, I go back to the biblical verse that's talking about the shedding of innocent blood and the abuse that we have with not only children but animals in this world today. And I want to just take this moment to thank our whole animal shelter and our staff for the work that they do and the beautiful job you do for God's creation. So thank you very much. Congratulations, Mike. Great honor. Presentation by Mr. Wes Jackson.
I'm going to assume you need address. West Jackson, 6900 South Gray Road, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46237. You all, thank you for taking the time. This is very awkward for me. There's a phrase, you never approach a horse from the rear or a bull from the front. I don't know which way to approach the city of Greenwood and the county of Johnson. But I'm here. I appreciate you all allowing me to be here to explain my situation. I have a development that I've been working on for a few years. We've owned the ground for several years up on County Line Road, north side, just west of State Road 135. It's adjacent to and part of one of our real estate developments, Greenwood Meadows. And forgive me for not introducing myself. I'm a board member of American Senior Communities. I'm responsible for the development of senior development for American Senior Communities. We take care of about 230 of Johnson County residents in skilled facilities. We employ about 500 employees of Johnson County. In the state of Indiana, 10,000 plus employees. 6,000 to 7,000 residents, depending on the day and the situation. On County Line Road, I have two parcels of ground that I'm working with. One parcel is in Greenwood. The other parcel is in Johnson County, the Lincoln Park Edition. The development is all contiguous, and as we began to investigate final site planning, we came to the county. The county recommended that we annex and allow Greenwood to drive the development process in all one set of standards. We, in the process of the development, identified that we could, as long as all parties were amiable, we could develop in Johnson County, and we could develop the two Johnson County standards. And in Greenwood, again, the recommendation was to go to Greenwood, annex. As we started that process, that discussion, Greenwood informed me that because the Lincoln Park ground adjacent to the Greenwood ground was TIF'd, that for tax increment financing, as I understand it, that they would not provide sewer. And ironically, Greenwood sewer runs through Lincoln Park, runs through my property via the right-of-way that the county has, and actually serves Johnson County ground in Lincoln Park, already the nice condo development there. Greenwood explained to me that if the county would drop their tax authority, which, by the way, I'm gonna step out of my realm of TIF, they would drop their TIF on that parcel of ground, Greenwood would provide sewer services. And I was told to come make a formal request to the county to drop your TIF. My last statement is I don't mind being between the hammer and the anvil, because what's held between the hammer and the anvil is malleable. And ultimately, what the blacksmith gets is something that's a contribution. I'm willing to be malleable. I don't know who's the horse. I don't know who's the bull. But I do know I'm between the hammer and the anvil. I'm available for questions, and I can meet at any point in time if there's additional detail or instruction that I need, and I'll be quiet now and open for questions, or you can tell me to sit down. But I appreciate your time.
Well, Mr. Jackson and I have met previously to discuss this situation. And as I understand it, that there is no cost to the city of Greenwood to provide this service, right?
Correct.
And they are providing service to other unincorporated areas of the county, I think both residential and commercial, correct?
Yes.
So
Forgive me. I'm speaking in my situation.
Yeah. So what I don't understand, and I talked to the mayor about this after meeting with Mr. Jackson, is the reluctance of the city of Greenwood to provide services to this. It's a rather small development, I think 6 units that you're putting on the unincorporated area property.
No, I don't. No, Mr. West, if I misled you, the total project is approximately 80 housing units. They're
Okay.
age restricted. Approximately 36 of the housing units would be
Yeah.
on the Johnson County side of the
And so,
development.
and then, is the city going to require annexation if we remove the TIF?
My attorney is recommending that we move forward with annexation.
But you don't know whether they would provide it in the absence of annexation?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's move forward, West, press, but where do you press?
Yeah.
And I'm committed to this project. If I have to move on, if my partners and I have to move on until there's some change in the future, we can do it, but we'd rather not, because it's just, I'm very, very financially committed to this
Yeah.
project.
Well, it's a worthy project too. what awareness I have of it. Well, we appreciate you coming today and explaining your situation, and this is a decision for our RDC to make. And I think our next meeting is next month. We had one planned today, but there's some complications in making that happen, so we're probably going to cancel until next month. But we will bring this up before the RDC and give it consideration. Again, I appreciate you coming today and explaining your situation. It kind of details what the county has faced in the past and continues to face going forward, and its ability to provide commercial, residential, commercial, and industrial businesses to the county for the lack of sewers, basically, is what it amounts to. And that's something we've talked to the various cities and towns about. So it is a imminent situation that we're working on, and we do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I do have a question, while you're here, sir. Is there an issue with continuing? You said there's 80 of these units that are already in the annexed area of Greenwood. Is that correct?
No, so, forgive me, the parcels, the two parcels of ground, Greenwood parcel and Johnson County ground, are raw ground to be developed to do a total of 80-ish units. When I say it, my counts today are 74.
Okay.
I'm trying not to, there's some flexibility, and I need as many units as I can get. What is existing that is our skilled community called Greenwood Meadows, and that's what when we developed that parcel, that's where the remaining of bare ground in Greenwood came from for us to develop. Then I was able to pick up neighboring parcels to make the development large enough to support a senior living community.
Okay, so that, I guess, was getting my question. So about half the units would be that already in the annexation part, and half of them would be in the
Yes.
non-annexed part. So you could continue on with 40 units, and I assume that Greenwood would provide sewers for those already there?
That's, I assume the same, because that was the discussion 3 years ago.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you answer. Thank you. I'll hold my comments since I'm not on the RDC board at this point in time. Thanks to Michelle Graves, who is the newest member on our RDC board, that's given me a break for a year while I go through some other callings in the state that I need to deal with this year. So I do appreciate that. But now you get to see what you've got to deal with, Michelle, coming up at your next meeting. So welcome. Welcome aboard. But thank you, Mr. Jackson. Elected officials and department heads. And we have the ratification of AT&T BEAD program letter.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And then we'll take number 2, 3, all the way through A and C in 2 and A and D in 3, which are all just approvals for master services agreements, mail agreements, things like that, that are just annual things that we renew instead of taking the time to individually vote on every one of them. Nothing's changed on these. If you have an agenda, then you can see what those are and what the differences are there.
We probably should read them off though, shouldn't we?
We can, but
I'll read them off.
go right ahead, sir.
CASA, approval to apply for the capacity building grant. Health, approval to apply for the Indiana Department of Health PHEP 2025-2026 BP2 grant. Parks, approval to apply for the Festival Country Grants for 2025 Parks Department events. 1, Vintage Camper Rally event on May 3rd, 2025. 2, Rec Fest event on July 26th, 2025. 3, Touch a Truck event on September 20th, 2025. 4th, Joko Deck the Stalls Holiday Fest event on December 6th, 2025. The others are auditor, approval of master services agreement renewal with SRI Inc., assessor, approval of Midwest pre-sort agreement for 2025 Form 11 mailing, recorder, approval of hardware maintenance support terms and conditions with Imaging Office Systems Inc., clerk, approval of maintenance service agreement with Novenwick.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Coroner, recognize the coroner's office Atlas team.
Morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good. Derek Wilson, Chief Deputy Coroner, Johnson County. Just wanted to come today. My elected's indisposed, so I'm stepping in his place. Just wanted to come today and recognize those individuals with our Atlas, which is assisting through loss after suicide. They're through upstream prevention. We partnered with them when Coroner Pruitt took office, and they're an integral part of what we do with suicide response now. All these folks right here on the front row, I'm going to have Kathleen Ratcliffe come up and talk to you guys about what they do, but Coroner Pruitt wanted to partner with these folks, and you know, I was a little bit hesitant at first. I've been a coroner in the business now since 2013 in 3 different counties. Wasn't quite sure about it, but let me tell you, I'm proud to partner with them now, and they respond along with our deputy coroners to all suicide runs in Johnson County, and they do a great job assisting the family. Kathleen can speak specifically to kind of what their background is, but I guess it's important to note for our coroner's office that we're one of, I think, 3 or 4 in the state that have a response team that goes out to the scene. So I'm going to let Kathleen kind of take the floor here, but I just wanted to basically get your guys' recognition for these folks, for what they do for our coroner's office and for our citizens every day, because you know, it's an important part of what we do out here, helping the community. And so Kathleen, you want to step forward here?
Yeah, thank you for having us, Derek, and I joked that Mike sprung this on us and said, hey, can you be here? And then Mike's not here. So I just want to say thanks. We have a team of 13 response members, some of which are here, who respond after a suicide. So the coroner's office calls, we have a dedicated phone number that they call. We pull together a team as quick as we can, usually of 2 individuals. They go out to the scene that the coroner's office has let us know, and they provide support and guidance and resources and whatever they can for that family and friends that are there. We then do also follow up with them. We get their permission to contact them and then follow up with them for a couple of years after their loss, just to make sure that they know that they're not alone, that there's still resources out there. Make sure to invite them to the multiple support groups that Upstream runs, as well as we have an International Survivor of Suicide Loss Day that we participate in every November. So just hosting those events, making sure people feel connected and have those resources. As Derek said, we started this process in early 2021, and we would not be where we are without Mike and Derek on board. The exact phrase that I use every time I get to talk about Atlas is that I called Mike and I told him, explained what a loss team was, why it was important, because individuals who lose someone to suicide are at 4 times greater risk to lose someone to themselves died by suicide, sorry. And so just that prevention, postvention as prevention, to get in there and provide those resources and support. Research has shown the average time from a loss to when individuals start seeking support without a loss team is about 4 years. And so our goal is to try to reduce that down so that it is more of an immediate support and network around them. And so I explained all of this to Mike when he was newly elected, and his words were, "I'm in, what do you need?" And we, as Derek said, we are one of a few response teams statewide that show up active on scene almost immediately or as quick as we can get a team together. There's many other teams around the state that are trying to do that and are running into challenges and hurdles. And one of the reasons we've been so successful is because of our relationship with Mike. So if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I do want to recognize the 4 response team members we have here. Starting on the, left, we have Shelley, Michelle, who's one of our volunteer coordinators, Kim Sperling, and then Sarah Kinder. And then I'm Kathleen, if you aren't tired of seeing my face all the time, so. Are there any questions?
No, but I deeply want to thank each and every one of you for the service you're providing. It's a critical service, obviously, for people in a dramatic situation at that time. So thank you again. And thanks to the coroner's office for partnering with you.
Yes.
It's a good move.
I would say, it's on my phone down there, I kept pulling it up, but the last time I did a presentation was in October, and at that point, we had had interactions with over 160 lost survivors, so individuals who had lost someone to suicide, over a total of 54 deaths in about 2-ish years that span covered. So since we were live in 2022, we spent a year trying to get our ducks in a row, started responding in 2022 and have reached quite a few people since then. So thanks to the great team we have.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much for your service to our community. And I know that's a tragic situation in all areas. And anyone that's even lost a family member that doesn't have to necessarily do with suicide, we know how painful that is. So for you to be involved for those who have lost it for those reasons are commendable. And I thank you very much for all that you do for our community. Anything else?
No, my heart goes out to you, so.
God bless. Animal shelter.
Good morning, Carrie Clutchy, Director at Animal Shelter. Today I'm hoping to get approved for myself and the shelter manager to go to the annual Humane Society of the U.S. Animal Expo. It's an event they do every year. This year it's in Vegas. It is Monday through Friday, registration Monday, and then there's just all-day events up. I think it's like 8 to 4 every day.
So is that a 4-night stay, Carrie, or 5?
We have to be there Monday, so yeah. Friday, I think it's done at I think the last class starts at noon and it's done around 2, so we could possibly get out Friday. My thought was the cheapest, so if the flights cause it to leave Friday more expensive than staying, then kind of go by that. The estimate I gave was for longer, so that it would be higher versus I'd like to come back with a lower number than what I present to you.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it. I move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Also, we have 3 new full-time staff members that, the next one is wearing apparel. 3 new full-time staff members. They work 4 to 5 days a week, depending on their schedule. I would like to get 15 shirts when you come in the shelter, the lobby's usually full, but there's also volunteers, community service, public. They're basic t-shirts that just show that we work here versus we don't work here. We did have an incident 2 weekends ago where the police had to be called, and it was nice for the people that weren't involved in the fight to know who they could go to versus, because there were cops. It was quite fun. So it just distinguishes them from all the other people in the building. We also have a new animal control officer. They have a uniform. We are able to reuse the shirts and the vest, which is the most expensive thing from the previous officer. However, she needs boots and pants that don't fit, that don't match with the last officer. So we would purchase those, the boots now, but the pants in 3 months once she's been trained. So I'd like to get those ordered if possible.
Move to approve. It's my favorite subject.
I'll let you take the first move on that one. I'll second that.
And I have a motion and a second, and under further discussion, I think this is one,
Wait, I forgot something.
Okay.
I almost forgot, and I even wrote it in red. Can I add $100 on there for the deputy director? He has one sweatshirt he wears every day. As you can tell, it's no longer black. I'd like to get him 2 new sweatshirts with his badge on them.
yeah, that would be considered uniform as far as I'm concerned.
So
But
that would be another 100 to that.
and that's what I was going to say, the stuff you're asking for is what we've made a point of for a long, long time up here. Those are necessary items that I feel are very, very doable under this. So I do appreciate that in the way that you're doing that. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah. Be careful in Las Vegas.
I may not come back.
I don't know why you'd want to stay.
How about T-Shirt Express? Just kidding. Dwayne Burgess, Johnson County Sheriff, this is.
Is that where you get your uniforms from?
No, it's not.
I just thought I'd ask.
Just normal agreement with the Atterbury Job Corps that comes up from time to time.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second.
So this is just a new company that took over operations of Job Corps.
Yeah, normal stuff, so we do our work
Okay.
on it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Highway award recommendation request to begin contract negotiations with my favorite team, NDOT.
Good morning, Daniel Johnston, Highway Engineer. Yes, we are seeking your approval of our scoring results. These were safety projects that we applied for last fall. We were awarded, or we had our three applications were selected. And we have since received letters of interest from engineering firms. Our recommendation for our project, that's going to be a replacement of all regulatory and warning signs in portions of Union Township and all of Hensley and Nineveh. The recommended firm was Strand Associates. And then our other 2 locations, we've actually combined into one project. These are going to be intersection conflict warning systems at 300 West and 625 South in Hensley Township, and then also at 250 South and Old US 31 in Needham Township. Our recommended firm for that is Cordino.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Daniel, while we've got you up here, and I hate to extend this out, but this is kind of important. I know there's a bill being in committee today, I think, that is in regard to road ratings and things like that. That's calling for a Paiser 6 or a Paiser 7 instead of a 6. Can you explain that to us, the difference between that 6 rating and the 7th rating, so I understand that a little better?
Sure. So
And could you explain it to the state too, while you're at it? I hope somebody's listening from the state so they can get their heads out of their ears. Go ahead.
So the PASER system, it's an acronym, and I apologize, I can't remember the exact, but it is a pavement assessment system that a lot of entities, certainly here in the state of Indiana, use to rate their roads. We are required to assess the conditions of all of our county roads, minimum of every 2 years. It uses a scale basically from 1 to 10, 1 being bad, 10 being the best. So a 7, really the top 3, 7, 8, and 9 are what we typically consider as a good condition road. 4 through 6 is a fair condition, and then 3 and below is a poor poor condition. There are a lot of different issues with the pavement that go into the different, or I guess different thresholds of cracking, rutting, raveling, and how common or how frequent those different issues are that help our staff assess those conditions and to rate each of the roads. So it is a standard system. And yes, I think the way that it is written now, it is that the minimum threshold or the threshold that they're identified as a 7. And that, I believe, on our average, and there's some weighting to it based on the length of each of the road segments. I think right now we are in the high 6.7, 6.8. If you were to look at our inventory that we have to submit every year by December 1st to the Indiana LTAP office.
So basically, that is shorting us funds that could be used for roads that really need repair in Johnson County. Is that correct?
Correct. And I've read that portion of the bill, and I believe, yes, if a county does not satisfy that threshold, there could be some potential funding consequences to the county.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Now, the irony there is if you don't meet that threshold, they take funding away from you to make it even worse to meet that threshold, right?
Yeah, it works in reverse of the way that we should be looking at it, which that doesn't surprise me coming from where it's coming from. But anyway, I wanted everybody to understand that, because I know that's one of the bills that we're dealing with through the ICC, and I know Tiffany, I kind of engaged her in that bill too, because that's going to be a real fund killer for us, as far as keeping our roads up to the standards that we need to keep them up to. So thank you for that explanation. Appreciate all y'all do out there, by the way. Thank you. I'm on a roll.
It's pretty easy.
No,
Teeing them up pretty easy.
yeah. New and old business claims and credit card.
I don't have a problem with the claims or credit cards this month, so I move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carries. Yeah, Sheriff. T-shirt Express.
Yeah.
Commissioner minutes have been scratched. Minutes are not ready for approval, so last and not the least, but public comment. Anyone have?
Yeah, Betsy.
You like this section, don't you?
No, this is more Betsy Swearingen, Director, Health Department, more so directed towards Ron for his prayer today. Wednesday, nationally will be a PIT counting, which is the counting of our homeless population throughout the United States. So it will start the evening of Wednesday evening, the 29th, and then finish in the morning of the 30th.
Okay.
So just wanted to give you that heads up. So that's how we'll know what our homeless population looks like in Johnson County.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And since she teed that one up, before we close, my opinion on that is we have a lot of homeless people that are legitimately homeless that don't necessarily choose to be homeless. You always have those that choose to do what they're doing, but we have those also that don't. And a lot of those are veterans. And I have a heart for veterans, as everybody knows, and I think we all should, for the work that they've done for us in protecting our lives. But we have military camps and bases all over this state that we allow foreign entities to come in, and we house them there. But we can't house our veterans and our homeless people that live and are citizens in this country. And that just disgusts me, that our government looks at us that the way they do, that we are not as important in this country as other people are. And that just makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck. And I think the problem is that just enough people don't say what's true And sometimes you just have to say it the way it is. We need to take care of our people as we would anybody else, and if not more primarily, just because they are the creation of God, and we should do that. So I wanted to get that out since I'm on a roll. And if you would, please pray for these people. They need our prayers. And pray for our government that they would be enlightened and have the heart of God and understand what we need to do in this country to help our people. And with that, I'm done.
Move for adjournment. Second.
We have a motion and a second. We're adjourned. Thank you for listening.